Today, we're talking about one of the most incredible things ever built by human hands. A structure so huge, it's fascinated people for centuries. But we're also going to pull back the curtain on a pretty dark secret buried right in its foundations. A story told not just in stone, but in bone.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. It's not just long, it's mind-bogglingly long. It snakes its way over thousands of kilometers, across burning deserts, up snowy mountains, you name it. It's an absolute beast of engineering, for sure. A true testament to human ambition.
But here's the thing. For every single one of those stones, there's a story that usually doesn't get told. A much, much darker story. And that's really what we're diving into. What's the real price for building something this massive?
All right, so to really get the wall, you gotta go back to the beginning. We need to talk about the man who dreamed it up and the wild times that made it seem like a good idea. Because this wasn't just a construction project. It was basically an empire flexing its muscles for the first time.
So picture this. Before China was, well, China, it was this chaotic mess of separate kingdoms, all constantly at war with each other. They each had their own little walls for defense. But then this one guy, Emperor Qin Shi Huang, comes along in 221 BCE and conquers everybody, unifying the whole region. And he has this huge idea. One nation, one empire, and one single massive wall to protect it all. He literally just ordered them to connect all the old walls together to create the first version of the Great Wall.
Okay, so a grand design is one thing, but actually building it, that came at a price that is, honestly, it's hard to even wrap your head around. A cost paid in human lives.
So who are the poor souls who actually had to build this thing? Yeah, this wasn't exactly a volunteer effort. The workforce was a massive army of soldiers, farmers who were literally pulled from their fields, and prisoners who were sentenced to hard labor. We're talking millions of people, all forced into this gigantic project. And the conditions they worked in? Absolutely brutal. Just imagine working around the clock in some of the most extreme places on Earth. One season, you're on a freezing, treacherous mountain. The next, you're getting cooked in a scorching desert. It was just a non-stop, dangerous grind.
And the final toll? An estimated 1 million people died building the wall. 1 million. It's a staggering number, and it earned the wall a pretty grim nickname, the longest cemetery on Earth.
And you know, that nickname wasn't just a metaphor. The legend, and the awful reality for so many, was that if you died on the job, they didn't exactly ship you home. You were simply buried right there, inside the wall itself. You literally became a part of the fortress you were forced to build.
But as horrific as that all is, if we only focus on the tragedy, we actually miss the strategic genius behind it. This wasn't just a big, dumb barrier. It was smart. It was an active, intelligent defense system.
The main reason for the wall was to deal with threats from the north. You had these highly mobile, nomadic groups like the Xiongnu, who were masters on horseback. They could raid settlements in a flash and be gone. So how do you stop that? You build a wall so massive and so long, they can't just ride around it. It was a perfect counter move.
But here's the really brilliant part. The wall's true purpose was more than just being a physical barrier. It was basically the information superhighway of its day. That whole network of watchtowers was a super sophisticated communication line that could send a message across the empire with incredible speed.
So here's how it worked. A guard in a tower spots the enemy coming. Immediately, he lights a fire, sending up a huge plume of smoke. The next tower down the line sees it, and they light their fire. And on it goes. In just a matter of hours, a warning could travel hundreds of kilometers, giving the empire plenty of time to mobilize its army. It was absolutely genius.
So we've got this incredible structure, born from both genius and just immense suffering. So, what does it mean for us today? Let's separate some of the myths from the much more powerful truth.
Okay, let's get the big one out of the way first. You've all heard it. You can see the Great Wall from space with the naked eye. It's a cool story, but nope, not true. Sorry. But the reality is actually way more interesting. The wall's real power isn't about being seen from orbit. It's about what it symbolizes right here on Earth.
And as a symbol, wow, is it complex. It stands for unity, the idea of forging one single nation out of all that chaos. It's a monument to the unbelievable sacrifice of the millions who died building it.
It represents that deep human need for protection. And of course, you can't deny it's an incredible symbol of pure imperial power and ambition.
When you boil it all down, the Great Wall isn't just a building. It's a story written across the landscape of a country. It's the story of a civilization's fierce fight to survive, to protect its people, and to build an identity that would last for thousands of years.
Sure, the physical materials were stone and earth, but the real components, the immense sweat of millions and the heartbreaking sacrifice of a generation, those were the true building blocks.
So, I'll leave you with this question to think about. When you look at the Great Wall, what do you see? A breathtaking wonder of human ingenuity or the world's longest tombstone? The real truth, I think, is that it's impossibly and powerfully both.